Welcome back, everyone, to another Market Open live stream. Let's take a peek at stocks and crypto, and we'll see what's going on out here. I have to say, though, I want to start by showing something that a very active course member in Discord posted, and it's really, really cool. I actually put it on Instagram, too, so if you're not on Instagram yet, consider following there at Meet Kevin. I'm actually Meet Kevin on Instagram and Real Meet Kevin on Twitter. Someone squatting Meet Kevin with like one follower. It's really annoying. They don't even use it. But anyway, nothing you can do about it, apparently. Check this out, okay? So they posted this. This was yesterday at 1:29 p.m. They posted this, and it's a reference to a few months ago when we were talking about this. Look at what I said a few months ago. What they're referencing. Take a peek at this. They said, "Remember that time Meet Kevin told us this to screenshot this." The blue is her writing, and she wrote down 512 will be the worst. What's crazy is so far 512 is looking like it was really, really bad. That's not only when the fallout from 512. Inflation data was also why we had some of the pain that we saw yesterday in the market sort of continue. But it's interesting because if this holds true, and well, I guess let me put it this way. Well, I mean, obviously, if this holds true, then that bodes well for our September to October expectations. But more importantly, what we're looking for is that transition to, okay, we get peak, like the crappiest inflation data, we get the crappiest possible data for the economy by May 12th, and then maybe we start inflecting down. We'll see. Next month's still going to be probably bad, but I don't think as bad as May. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm optimistic. So anyway, let's jump on over to the sticks here, see what the heck is going on to get the day started, and we'll also see what's going on with cryptos. So we got some big green movers here, and some things that have been selling off. Take a look at this. We got BNGOs up. Look at that, 17.46%. Fisker all of a sudden 16% here. Plug Power rotating up 15%. Big move here to the upside on Plug Power. Marathon and Riot, first green day in quite a long time, both up 8%. DoorDash after earnings yesterday up 7.8%. Getting some momentum back here. Look at that. SOS, Gevo, Fuel Cell. These guys all about 7% up. Coinbase fell after earnings yesterday, and now it's actually rotating to the upside. We got it sitting somewhere. What are we at now here? Let's see. And that's a cool thing I have to say about after hours is sometimes we see after hours and it's like, oh my gosh, we're down at like 6:30 or whatever, because it was down pretty low in after hours yesterday. But that doesn't actually get realized until the market opens. And now by market open, it looks like we're going to be going up instead of down. Microvision at up 4.33. Great. Square coming up 3% here, back over 200. Did add to Square yesterday while it was under 200. Happy about that. We got, wow, look, Tesla's green. What a buying up, though, still. Even though it's green, the pricing, I mean, golly, under 600. That's pretty nice. Remember, how lucky does Lauren have to be for us in April? No, in March. In March, we made this deal. In March, end of March, we're like, if Tesla hits 750 before April 30th, we'll go buy a new home. And that was sort of the challenge that we made. Tesla literally goes by April 15th or whatever to 750, 760, 770, stays there for like 2 days, and it goes straight down to like 580. It's honestly comedy. All right, what else do we have here? Yeah, so a lot of things that have been selling off are up. Etsy, Lemonade, Arrival. Let's see what's losing today. So really, actually, not much. This is the shortest pre-market list of red I've seen in a while here. We've got what do we have here? We've got 8.74% on Aurora Cannabis. Naked's down a bit. Disney's down 3%. Honestly, not as bad as what we had yesterday. We were down about 4% on Disney yesterday when we were taking a peek at this. We were looking at, let's see, Dropbox down fractionally here. GameStop down fractionally. I do want to know where AMC is. Yesterday we had an insane run on AMC. Oh, possibly going to continue again today. We'll see. We're up 23.7% from yesterday. And it looks like, I always like to imagine this, but I wouldn't be surprised if what I'm about to say is quite possibly true. I think as the day traders wake up, they start entering their positions here in pre-market. And I think you actually get some people who do take profits and trade in the pre-market, but which is incredible. I mean, I suppose if you made your money in pre-market, you're off work for the day, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's gonna be neat. All right, let's go ahead and jump on over, and we'll take a look at cryptos here as well. I do realize I have not updated this channel page yet, though, so let me do that really quick. And we are gonna have the Kevin O'Leary interview in about a week, which that'll be great. There we go. All right, let's go to CoinMarketCap and poke around some of the sticks for coins. We do have 2 minutes to the opening bell. So what do we have here? We got BTC, okay, up slightly here, back over 50,000, 50,200. Ethereum at 3,900. Ethereum moving up nicely again. This was sitting around 36 yesterday. it went to its highs of 43, coming back nicely. Dogecoin sitting at 52.9. That's down from those levels that we ran to after Elon Musk's talk yesterday about looking into the efficiencies or potential of Dogecoin with Dogecoin engineers. And Cardano back up a little bit here, back to 189. It had fallen a chunk yesterday, although it was still at all-time highs. But there was just a temporary sort of, what would you call it, a Dogecoin sell-off. We had a temporary Doge sell-off. And it looks like it's rebounding pretty nicely here from where it was in sort of the more low 180. Oh, let's see here. 13th. No, where was our Doge sell-off? Doge sell-off was, let's see, today's the 14th. Doge sell-off was, oh, the timing here is totally weird. I want to say we were over in this range here. So we never really fell lower than 181. All right, let's go ahead and grab the, and we can look at Webull to see the timing relate a little bit more without having to change the time zone. Let's go ahead and get ready for the opening bell here. And we'll go take a look at some of the new stats that are coming out as well on sales data and more. Let's take a peek.
There should be vaccine passports, but I'm also, I have a hard line on this because I want people to get vaccinated.
Of course.
And I want this economy wide open and business
that
being done.
continues to be a key question. And you get different reads on it from corporate America in terms of how far they can go in mandating vaccinations for their employees.
Anything that makes this economy hum, more
there you
jobs.
Go. They're late today.
And vaccination does.
They've totally played the video clip of the bell at the wrong time.
At the New York Stock Exchange, Jim, it does appear like we're sort of inching direction. I noticed Delta Airlines this morning, CNN reports that new hires will be required to have been vaccinated. I think the cast of Hamilton said the same thing yesterday. So, I mean, baby steps, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're in a country where privacy is incredibly important. People always say to me, HIPAA.
We're going to pause off this really quick. I do want to hit the new data that came out just a little bit ago here. U.S. retail sales stall after latest wave of stimulus spending. This is good. Ironically, this is good. Bad is good, okay? By now, for the last 2.5, 3 months here, I think you've already learned that. Bad is good. Why is it good? Well, it alleviates inflation fears. So what do we get? U.S. retail sales stalled in April following a sharp advance in the prior month when pandemic-related relief checks provided millions of Americans with increased spending power. The value of overall retail purchases were essentially unchanged following an upward revised 10.7% gain in March, the second largest in records back to 1992. Hey, I know that year. Commerce Department figures showed Friday the median estimate in a Bloomberg survey of economists called for a 1% April gain, and we totally missed. We literally got zero. We were expecting a 1% month-over-month gain after the 10.7% stimulus boost over here. We literally got nothing. We're flat like that. Look at the bar. That's crazy. We did have a minus there of 2.9% weather-related miss here in February. Big boost here in January with the $600 checks. You had a 7.9%. And then over here, we had negativity due to COVID shutdowns. But now we're much more open, and we're seeing zero. The total value of retail sales was a record of $619 billion in April, supporting economists' forecasts for strong household spending for the remainder of the year. While consumers may begin to shift more of their spending to services, so elevated savings supported by stimulus should underpin retail demand. All right, what else here? 8 of 13 retail categories registered declines in April sales, with the largest being decreases in clothing. Purchases in restaurants and auto dealers were the ones that increased. Wow. Here, digging deeper. Non-retail, including e-commerce, fell 0.6% in April. This is also probably why you saw Pinterest and Etsy give guidance that some of their sales forecasts were rotating to the downside. And again, I even though those stocks sold off on that kind of news, it's it's actually a good thing because it again alleviates that inflation fear. General merchandise stores fell, sporting goods fell, gas station receipts dropped. Okay, good. Let's go jump on over and look at the sticks here and see what's moving big time here. So let's go to all stocks. All right, come on, Weeble. There we go. Let's get rid of the pre-market. We don't need you anymore. We'll see you later. All right, so what's going on here? BNGO. Wow, BNGO is running a little bit here. Let's see what's going on with BNGO here. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure BNGO reported yesterday. So maybe this had to do with something on their earnings. Fisker's running as well. So is Gevo. These are some big runs here. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me pull up the terminal and I'll get an answer on this. Let's find out what's going on.
Not bother with the match period, but just wait and see. If you're confident they won't get the voting trust, then you're in a great position because then...
we don't care. Sorry. We're gonna jump on over to another channel while I pull this up. I don't know why my cable box is doing a please wait on us. It's kind of boring. Nobody wants to sit here and please wait. Okay? No, nobody. We want answers. We'll figure out what's going on with BNG.
Stock that's down about 50% since its peak in early December. But hold on a minute. Yeah. Goldman Sachs comes in and says they're going to upgrade Snowflake to a buy from a neutral. Yeah. That word from Goldman.
Honestly, I made an IPO Snowflake video. And I'm like, anything with a 2 in the front, I'm not jazzed about. We got a 195 right now. You know, it's not as low as I really wanted to be able to buy that company at, but it is under 2. The thing you have to keep in mind though is their software as a service company, very, very high forward PE, and forward PE stocks are the ones that are kind of getting smacked up and down here. A little bit right now. We'll see. All right. Let's try to get BNGO up and running here. All right. We're finally live here. So BNGO, let's see what we got going on because we got a lot of momentum moving. So it doesn't necessarily have to be news related when we have a lot of momentum moving together here. Yeah, because Plug's moving higher. BNGO's moving. So it was a sales beat was in their earnings. Increased pre-market. Okay, let's see. We saw that. BNGO Genomic, or well, yeah, whatever. The company surges as first quarter sales top expectations. Stock surged 18%. Stock has gained 43% through Thursday. After market close Thursday, revenue reported of $3.2 million was up 179 from the prior year, beating the estimate of $2.97 million. It's pretty low revenue, right? But it's also a pretty small company. Again, the earnings came in at 3.2 with an expectation of 2.97. The boost in product sales was driven by increased demand for its reagent rental program and consumables. Well, it sounds like they're like supplying potion makers in World of Warcraft. I guess whatever gets you to understand it more, Kevin. So yeah, BNGO rocketing here, 24%. I'll tell you though, it has been getting destroyed. It has been getting destroyed in the last a couple months here. But so is Fisker. I mean, look at Fisker, $11. Folks, this thing traded to like 24, 27. I mean, some of these prices are very, very low, relative to where they had been. Now, Ethereum's running as well now. Dogecoin's up as well. Yeah, take a look at this. We're getting a little bit of just a momentum rebound here. Check that out. We started. The bell was almost the bottom here, and we're getting a little bit of a run. Doge 53.4 now. We've got Ethereum 4,022. Even Bitcoin's running a little bit. Actually, running a good chunk here. This is Webull, of course, which remember to get 2 free stocks with Webull. If you haven't yet, go to metkevin.com/Webull, deposit $100, and they'll give you 2 free stocks. So what's losing here is, here's Disney back down to 4.4%. We got a little bit more red on the chart right now here. Walt Disney and Aurora Cannabis down 7% here on ACB. Although that's not as bad as it was. Peloton dropping about 0.8% after a run yesterday. But otherwise, we do not have a lot of red. Very, very, very little red in today's market here. A lot of runners in the momentum side. I'm going to try to track down where AMC is. Here's Tesla. Tesla's actually rotating to the downside, though. Take a look at that. Opened up about somewhere around 2% up, down to 1.15% right now. So watch Tesla for some dip opportunities, as we might turn red here. BlackBerry trying to do a little bit of a momentum move here. What else do we have here? Tattooed, not really doing anything right here at 17. We've got Churchill Capital and Palantir. Here we go. Palantir, kind of flat-ish, 2%. Now we get a red candle. We got CCIVs right here. Yeah, CCIVs red candling as well. A lot of red candles starting to form here. Look at that. Unity's red candling. It looked like we were starting to get a recovery there, but now that we're looking at some in between here, we're getting a lot more red. We got Coinbase showing a little bit of red. What else here? XPI is going up. It's nicely oversold. Nordstrom's running. Look at that. Nordstrom sold off the last few days. Doing nicely today, though, up 5.19%. And trending nicely up. Mind Medicine up again, 4.6%. We've got BNGO stalling a little bit on that rally. Marathon coming up 13%. That's a nice move, Marathon and Riot. Finally, I mean, these guys are so volatile, but finally moving back to the other side as we start seeing Bitcoin prices elevate again. And we have Upstart up 6% here at $89, though. I mean, here's one that typically day trades and runs up to like 105, 110, 120, and a little bit of a slowing happening here though in the run. It seems like overall the broader market is just slowing a little bit on its run. Let's go check the SPY here. No, not seeing that here though. Still seeing green forming over here, despite some of the red coming through on some of the names that we're looking at here. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get what else do we want? Oh, let's look at the 10-year. So we had a miss on the sales expectations by a lot, and so it makes you wonder if we're going to get a reduction here. Yeah, we did. Look at this. 10-year ran up to 1.72 when we got our inflation readings, and take a look what's happening here. Straight down essentially. I guess I shouldn't say straight down. This is really straight up. This is just down. We got to be consistent with our verbiage. Let's go ahead and look at inflation expectations too. Inflation expectations. This is the break even of the 10-year. Let's see. 10-year break even is. Take a peek here. Line chart. All right, what do we got? Yeah, little tick to the downside here. There we go. Here are our inflation readings, and we are now lower than where we were before the CPI readings after the retail sales data. So you did get almost a straight down here. All right, let's take a peek and see what CNBC has got for us.
In their conclusion, that additional board change is needed to provide shareholders with sufficient confidence in the sustainability of Exxon's business, an immediate concern, and one that should arguably take precedence in the order of operations over an assessment of the general.
I don't know that we care. Sorry. Okay, let's try then. Going over here. Let's see. Are we going to talk about the wall? No, we're going to talk about hats in a TV commercial. Right. Or is it coffee commercial? America's on the move. Who cares? It's Fox commercial. All right. So then we'll go back to the sticks and let's look at coin market cap here. I do want to look at ADA again. So I want to see how it's moving. Given that we are having a bit of a crypto recovery here. Let's see what we got. So ADA, this was really, this is moving back up nicely here. Back to 192. Dropped into the 180s really after the Doge hiccup. But it looks like all of crypto moving again after this latest sell down. Yeah, Doge doing very well after the Elon tweet yesterday. But it did settle down, did get to a low here. Oh, let's see here. Let's grab the minute chart here. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit. Oh, we'll go to even 30 minute. All right, here we go. Yeah, so this is really yesterday where we got that run up from Elon. Did run up to a high here of about 57 and balancing a little bit around 53 right now. All right, let's see what we got here. Trump to resume MAGA rallies in June, it says. Okay, we'll have rallies again. Let's jump in over here. Okay, they're talking about Exxon. Fine then. Fine. No, nobody wants to cover something fun. We'll go to the sticks. All right. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got? So BNG are cooling down a bit. Here's Ethereum Classic. We've got Plug Power rotating down. Marathon and Riot trying to hold on to their gains after some red candles. I think Tesla was straight down with red. So let's give Tesla a look here. Yeah, it still is. Look at that. Still straight down. Oh, well. Take a peek at that for some buy opportunities. Another one is Wayfair. So Wayfair's back under 300. This thing fell to about 265 about 2 weeks ago. And I mentioned that I thought it was really cheap and nice that it was under 275, which is where I like to buy it. But then before I got around to buying it, it ran right back to like 320. Now it's under 3 again. So I'm watching it. Coinbase, by the way, giving up some of its gains here. Where'd it go? Coinbase. I can't click on the darn thing when it moves so fast. Stop. I can't get it. It's somewhere around 0.5% over here. Oh my gosh. It's impossible. It's right. It seems like it's moving up the list. I could just try to type it in. We could try that. Coinbase. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, no, okay, never mind. It's just going down. Straight down look here. Kind of doing like the Tesla chart here. So some things are going down. Plantronics here down 18%. Aurora Cannabis going back to about that 10% down level. And Walt Disney rotating to the downside as well. We did get some other stocks here to sort of join the reds. That includes Airbnb, GameStop down 3.5%. Peloton's down 1%. Matterport still sitting at $11. Such a bargain. And we'll go to zoom out here. BNGO still holding on to those gains along with Gevo here. But yeah, we are still seeing some of those red candles starting to form. Let's go ahead and see what's going on in top news. Sure. Oh, wow. First screen candlestick here at Tesla. Nice. Let's go look at that top news. What do we got over here? So what do we have? Top news. Let's see. Top news. Stocks treasuries gain as inflation concerns ebb. You know, this is like, it's literally the most, what would you call it? When somebody changes their personality all the time. I can't think of the word right now. I know y'all know it. But this is that kind of market. It makes literally no sense. I mean, I suppose it does make sense. And this is stuff that we had been talking about too. Oh, bipolar. Yeah. The most weenie baby. Thank you. But yeah, it's just this market, with the exception of Tesla today, this market is going to move substantially once these inflation expectations actually go away with permanence. Now, I'm going to explain that right after I mention that you should get 39% off with that coupon code linked down below. I'm not sure if they're going to make it expire this weekend I'm not sure yet. I do want to put a date on there, but it depends on when they get their stuff ready. So I'm still waiting for that. Yeah, it's I guess big changes. Apparently there are too many options. Like, oh, we got to make this simpler, Kevin. We got to do the bundles differently, and I'm like, whatever. So anyway, okay. Here's the thinking here, and this is the question I get every single day is, Kevin, why, if you think there's a potential correction that could still come, why would you not sell your stocks rather than and why are you buying instead? I say I'm buying. I'm nibbling into these dips, and I've been nibbling into these dips since February. Even the last 2 days, buy. Probably going to buy again today. Why do I keep buying? It's because we don't know. I think that by September, October, our inflation expectations are going to be a lot lower. But we don't know when the market's going to start pricing that in. And when you start getting stuff like this, global stocks end worst weekly slump. We got iron tumbles from record as China moves to tame prices. U.S. equities rose and treasury yields declined for a second consecutive day as more tempered commodity prices helped allay concerns about inflation risks. Energy and tech led the S&P 500 higher. Then how can I get commodities again? I think I wrote that down. Let's see. But then you start getting a quick rotation back in stocks. And so it's something very, very much something you want to pay attention to. Oh, here we go. GLCO. I wrote this down. Global commodity prices. So let's take a peek at this. So this right here is the year to date. And then this is the more current change. I personally like keeping an eye on the year to date because the year to date prices are still really crazy for some of these. See, wheat, 13%, sugar, 10%. These are already down off some of their highs. We've got coffees up 13%. That one's been pretty stable here. Rebar up 32%. I wonder if we could can we hit the chart on these? That'd be cool. If we could like make a, oh yeah, we can. See year to date chart. Yeah. See, look at this. You get this, I don't really like this kind of chart. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. You get this kind of slowdown here in like steel rebar. And it makes you wonder if we're seeing that in some of the others. We heard iron was going down, so I won't waste my time clicking on that one. Let's try copper. Copper's been another one of those that people have been using as a measure of, inflation. Let's take a peek here. Let's go year to date. The daily fluctuations are a little rougher. Change it to the line. Here we go. I mean, it's hard to call this a dip after this run year to date right here, right? But I mean, it is rotating to that downside. And so these are things we want to keep an eye on. Do we have lumber here? Lumber's always a fun one to look at. I actually don't think they have lumber on this list, which is shocking to me. You think lumber should be on this list, but it ain't. So I don't know. Let's click on one more, and then I want to go back to the sticks. Gosh, what's another one? Coffee, cattle, spot, nickel. Okay, let's look at the iron one. Let's see how much of a dip we have here. So let's go to year to date here. Yeah, okay. I mean, you got a dip there. See, that's a dip. that's a hodl by the dip. But then again, I don't invest in commodities. No, I'm much more of a stick to what I know, stick to my strategy, and take advantage of the buying opportunities. So it's interesting. It is very interesting that we're starting to see headlines like that. And I would be very much paying attention to this as an investor. When you start getting headlines as inflation concerns ebb, the more you start seeing this kind of stuff, the better. Inflation angst. Global stocks set biggest weekly drop since February. Let's see here. This may help reinvigorate their inflation narrative, picking up value shares tied to economic growth over stay-at-home favorites. Walt Disney fell after Disney Plus results. Sure. Treasuries remained higher after a report showing resale. Okay, this means treasuries right here. This means treasury, like the actual bonds, remained higher, which means yields are lower. So treasury yields fell, in other words, translated. As retail sales slowed, iron ore fell from a record, Bitcoin going back, which is really interesting because Bitcoin's behaving kind of the opposite way you would think. Bitcoin should have really peaked on Wednesday with inflation expectations, but it didn't. So Fed Master says Fed policy in a good place as the economy recovers. All right, what else here? New York City on the cusp of a comeback. Israeli artillery. Parents rush to get COVID vaccines for their children. People really doing that? Yeah, I don't think Lauren and I have really made an opinion on, or got an opinion on this yet. But I also sometimes you wonder, like, is it propaganda? Parents across the U.S. are rushing to get their adolescent children vaccinated against COVID in that 12 to 15 range. I mean, I guess it makes sense, 12 to 15. All right, so let's go back to the sticks here. BNGO really moderating here. Had a nice little run. If somebody jumped in on the bandwagon here above the VWAP, they got whacked because yeah, now we're right under it. Voyager Digital and the blockchain, the crypto companies here really moving well on this crypto rotation back to the upside. Hut 8 Mining, good interview yesterday. If you haven't seen it yet, Big Digital, a lot of the crypto miners here and crypto related companies, the brokerages, security companies doing very well right now. As Ethereum, look at that straight line up since the opening bell. I don't know why, but it literally has been since the opening bell. It's just been straight up with the cryptos here. You got Ethereum now sitting at 40.62. Dogecoin's trying to get to 54 cents, and Bitcoin crossing 51,000 again here. On the negative side, still got Aurora Cannabis Naked sitting around the low sides here, 8-7%. Walt Disney still struggling to stay off that 5% low here in terms of the downside. Tesla still struggling here. Probably one of the biggest stocks to really struggle today. Bouncing around 575, bouncing off of 570. It's pretty low. Let's listen in over here. What do we got? It's still Exxon. Are you serious? They all being boring right now. I don't get it. It's like usually we listen to way more of CNBC or Fox. Nothing today. CNBC is being boring. Bloomberg's on commercial. And what we got over here? I can only guess. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. They are actually talking about stocks. This is shocking. Wait, or are they talking about mask guidance? I don't know.
Announcements that for the time being, they're going to continue to require masks in their.
Oh, man. Come on, people. All right, whatever. Let's do this. Let's go to the mid sector here, and let's see where things are kind of balancing around this 1% range. So look at this. I'll tell you, Apple has been the best savings account. The best savings account that I've seen in a while, because it's literally been flat since November. I mean, look, we get the little moves to like 140 or like 110, whatever. Nobody really cares. But it's just been flat. Look at that. It's actually been flat since August. Look at this. I mean, this right here, folks, this fluctuation is a savings account. It's incredible. Well, Apple and Amazon's kind of been doing the same thing too. And just no movement. Look at that. Just sitting between the lines. It's like, it's like reading between the lines or not. It's just because that would be something that's implied but not stated. Now, this is bluntly stated. It's boring. Apple and Amazon have been boring. I suppose it does beat going straight down into the gutter though, like some of the other things. But you just don't have the buying opportunity here. Google's been doing very well. But Google's been doing so well because people are still underestimating YouTube. And as a YouTuber, let me be clear, they pay lots. it's actually obscene. I encourage people to make YouTube videos because it's so obscene. I also have a course on making YouTube videos. I just basically teach my thoughts on the algorithm, how you should set up your setup where you don't need like a $200,000 setup or whatever. How to set up a setup simply and get rolling very inexpensively, but focusing on the algorithm as a priority. Anyway. What else do we have here? Okay, so same coupon code down below. Okay, Peloton dropping a slight little bit here. Let's look at this here. Let's look at the mid. Yeah. Okay, also trying to rebound here, hitting some bottoms. Tesla's dropping again, going right back to its 570 here. Let's zoom out a little bit. See if is there any support for this. It's really what we had in March. Is just the prior example here. And so we drew a line at about 582. We also drew one here at about 566. And that's kind of where we're playing right now. Look at that. We hit a low of 559. Keep this in mind with Tesla. People, when Tesla's in the 500s, people say things like, wow, you literally nailed it. People say things like this. Tesla to 250. The problem is you got to think of these companies as rubber bands. It's very, very important that you think, and this is the kind of stuff that I also teach you in the Stocks and Psychology and Money group. But I'll just give you, this is just a fraction of the stuff. It's a snippet. But when stocks fall, you have to think of them like rubber bands. So the first part of, and it could be a small rubber band. So it's really stretchy, especially the more volatile ones, as opposed to like a large stiff one. You know, when you have a large stiff rubber band like Apple, it doesn't move that much. Think about the like really skinny rubber bands. Those things move a lot, right? But the harder and harder you pull to the downside, you know, that first 30% of Tesla is really easy. But then going past that first 30%, it gets harder and harder and harder to pull it down. It's harder for it to go down more because the cheaper it gets, the more of a deal it looks like relative to other stocks. Like we made a video about this the other day about how Macy's staying firm, but Tesla falling makes it harder for Tesla to fall more. And this place here in this mid five, I mean, as we saw in March, it went to 539 for a hot minute, and then it went right back to the upper fives. So if I weren't so heavy in Tesla, I'd be interested in loading the book. Honestly, I might buy some more today. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Usually I don't do my buys super early in the morning, unless of course it was like May 12th where everything was in the toilet when things opened up, and I'm like, yeah, no, we're buying. That was great. All right, what else do we have here? So that's Tesla talk. Dave & Buster's sitting up here about 1%, Apple 1%, Visa around 1%. Visa would benefit off better retail data, but it's still green today, so that's good. Walgreens 135, Qualcomm 146, Chipotle. Oh, come on, get to 1337 just to be cool. How's Chipotle doing? It's a red candling here on the days, but it is going green today. Simon Property Group at 120, almost up 2% today. Redfin's almost up 2%. And Upwork up 2.25%. Pinterest up a bit. We've got Marathon, Voyager, Gevo, BNGO. These guys are up as well. These guys are the momentum plays moving today. Gevo up 16% here. Marathon 16. Nice moves. All right, let's go ahead and see if we've got anything on Bloom. All right, I think I have it in Chrome, actually. Oh, here we go. Let's listen to Bloomberg. No, they're still on. How are they just literally on commercial all day long? I don't understand. CNBC's on. There must just be no news. There must literally be no news. I don't know. Oh, here we go.
I'm Guy Johnson. Alex Steele is over in New York. Welcome, everybody, to Bloomberg Markets. Alex, mask on or mask off?
I'm mask in the middle. So I usually do 2 masks. I'm down to 1, which feels like a really big deal on my end. In the markets, though, we're looking kind of like sell the mask, buy the dip. And that's pretty much what we're seeing today. It's a buy the dip despite that disappointing retail sales number.
This is when you have no news, when they're making these analogies.
That cyclical trade most definitely on. Dollar broadly weaker. Euro dollar sitting at that key level 121 is where we sit. 10-year yield, a little bit of buying, but nothing to write home about. You are seeing bonds and stocks moving together. That is not good if you're a 60-40 portfolio when it's going down. We'll try and talk about that later on in the show as well. The Bloomberg Commodity Index up by about 1%, helped in part by oil. If the mask is off, maybe you can move around more. That could be good, as well as the UK potentially reopening there on Monday. Also, we had the worst day for commodities yesterday in about 2 months. So it's definitely seeing that kind of rebound as we head into the weekend, Guy.
Yeah, it's not feeling too clever on the commodity front today either. We've got data, we've got more data. The data is really confusing at the moment, but the University of Michigan Sentiment Index comes through at a headline miss.
Oh, wow,
we were expecting 90. We've got 82.8. That's down.
This just came out, by the way. This is breaking news. It should be like CNBC breaking news.
Dipping and missing as well, 77.6. But then we get onto the main event. The main event is the inflation outlook, Alex, 4.6%. Wow. That is a strong number. That's up from 3.4 and it's got a 3.5 expectation. So
the problem is with when it comes to inflation expectations, that's the number that I don't pay attention to at all when it comes to folks right here with inflation expectations, because people's measured inflation expectations are usually just literally, well, what is it? What is inflation right now? Oh, well, it came in at 4.6. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we think it's going to be 4.6. I'll tell you, these inflation expectations, they plummet as soon as you start seeing inflation actually coming lower. Like it's so fickle. I think it's because most folks have no freaking clue what inflation is. Inflation really is the long run persistent rise in prices and loss in purchase power over time. And I know it sounds crazy because you get, and I know Peter Schiff is like, no, Kevin, inflation is the expansion of the monetary supply. Not really, because we could have been in deflation if we didn't expand the monetary supply. So it's fascinating. Let's see what CNBC is saying about this. I'm sure they're talking about this. All right. I'd like to get your opinion regarding the recent changes to tariffs impact on the market. Right. The YouTube course, just go to metkevin.com/join or click the link down below. It's the same place where the other ones are. I don't know which tariffs you're talking about, though. Maybe give a little bit light here. We can look it up too.
We are watching today. We're going to start with the drop in Disney subscriber numbers for Disney's streaming service falling short of Wall Street predictions. We've got more on the quarter in general in just a second. But you can see those shares are down 4%. DoorDash, meantime, surging despite reporting a wider than expected quarterly loss, blaming a shortage of delivery drivers. Revenue did, however, come in above forecast. It tripled year on year as people continue to order out.
DoorDash is kicking butt. I think are you referring to China to collect consumption tariffs and dirty oil imports? Oh. I mean, there are always tariffs between China and the U.S., and it creates tensions and fluctuations in the market.
Stock is up almost 9% right now. However, it's still down about 25% year to date. David?
Thank you, Morgan. Well, stocks are looking to continue what is a rebound, of course. It started yesterday after what had been fairly large losses for the previous few days. Joining us now.
I'm going to pull back here and let's go back to Bloomberg. They're still talking about inflation.
Senators want to bring in Bloomberg government reporter Emily Wilkins from Capitol Hill. Emily, the number I'm hearing, the top end of the range is $900 billion. That's a lot lower than what we were expecting.
What?
It is, but think about it like this. I mean, in Biden's $4.4 trillion plan, there's a lot of different components there. The component that Republicans are talking about is just what you would consider what we're now talking about as traditional infrastructure, the roads, the highways, the bridges.
Oh, this is the GOP counteroffer. Got it.
That, of course, he's interested in a bipartisan deal. He had several meetings this week, both with top Republicans and then another group of 6 Republican senators who are working on this issue. And the Republican senators we spoke to said that they felt that there had been a lot of progress made in the meeting, that the negotiation process was still going on with them trading ideas with the Biden administration. And so it seems like there could be a path.
I don't really care about the bipartisan. I'm sorry. Like it's let us know when you get closer, because lately it's just been a crapshoot with these importers. Oh, sup, Robert. Thanks, man. So Robert, freaking awesome guy. You gotta go to sushi again sometime. Talking about import tariffs, 25% extra. He imports a lot from China. Container prices are through the roof, up 300%. 40-foot container used to be $2,500, now pushing $8,000, and rumors of 10 to 15K. Robert, you're getting ripped off. No, it is crazy though. That's importing from China is got to be rough right now. And it doesn't help that there have been, some more tensions than we've had recently. Let's pull Bloomberg here again, though.
Wow, what a week. Abigail Doolittle, walk us through the latest action.
What a week indeed, Guy. And you're right about that on CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, in terms of the whipsawing on the thinking around the crypto space. Very positive, sending Bitcoin to record highs, taking it above 50,000, 60,000. This week, though, not so much, going back below 50,000 and, sort of Bitcoin trading along. And then that tweet came out from CEO Elon Musk saying that Tesla is no longer accepting or suspending Bitcoin as a payment. We see this massive plunge, again, going below $50,000 per Bitcoin, and Musk talking up the fact that crypto takes up so much energy that it's staggering, and that is the reason behind
what's
the suspension.
worth looking at, folks? Check this out right here. I have this. Let's pull this up over here. It'll be a little easier to look at. This Reuters article. Check this out. how murky legal rules allow Tesla's Elon Musk to keep moving markets. See if we can get a quick bottom line on this. So we know, I'm not going to read all the stuff about what he has done. We know he said crazy things, and we know he does crazy things because we live stream it when he does. So we know what happened with Doge. So what are the rules? The problem here is that a loose cannon CEO continues to, oh my gosh. See, this, by the way, is one of the reasons Tesla is selling off, because people think Elon Musk is a loose cannon. I kind of like that, but that does scare a lot of it. Yeah, God. Imagine if you were a suit, and you're waking up to this from. Oh my gosh. Okay, but anyway, okay. Lawyers said Musk would need to move an asset price with the aim of enriching himself or people close to him. See, we've done a video on SEC market manipulation before, and there's, for market manipulation to be a thing, you actually have to be, there has to be evidence that you're like colluding with a group of people. And this new piece here is with the aim of enriching yourself. I mean, I imagine that would be almost understood. Or operate with inside information. Reuters could not ascertain Musk's holdings. And it's also true. We don't know if he actually owns any Doge. Like, you know what the biggest joke of all of it would be is Elon owns 0 Doge, yet he's moving the market like this. So that way, if he gets investigated, it's just like, I don't own any. I just think it's funny. And I tell people to be safe. Doge to the moon. You know, it's crazy. For some, the multi-billionaire is no different from top investors like Warren Buffett or Ray Dalio. And this is true too. When they say things, they move the markets. Absolutely true. In the past, access to these leaders were filtered through staff and press releases. Yep, now the public gets to evaluate directly. It's true. SEC monitors for suspicious activities in regulated markets. We did have that $20 million fine with taking Tesla private 420. So basically, as long as Elon's not trying to enrich himself, and do so in sort of a colluded, methodical way and a provable way. Keep tweeting, bro. It's kind of crazy. Before Elon, it was Ray Dalio. Seriously, who remembers this? And you know what? This was a fluke. And I'll tell you why it was a fluke. But Ray Dalio, in November of 2019, took like a $1.2 billion put position in the S&P 500. For March 2020. He missed, like, he basically nailed the bottom market by 3 days. It's insane. But guess what? They actually unwinded a ton of their puts right before the COVID pandemic. Had they held those puts, man, they would have been heroes. Instead, Bill Ackman got the reward on that one. It's crazy. So Robert's got another update here. Let's see. Margins are getting crushed due to import duties and increased freight costs. That's incredible. Thanks. Okay. So what else we have here? So volatility down today. Not a lot of red. Look at this. We got actually a lot of green coming back here. This is something where initially we had a very short page of red. We then started seeing, a real expansion here in what was red. Now we're seeing that compression again. We do have Coinbase to the downside. We did see those red candlesticks start coming on Coinbase. They were up 3%, rotating back to the downside here. This was the red candlestick fall here. Sitting steady here around that 264. Makes you wonder, is the worst over? This is the CEO of Disney. Well, let's see what he has to say.
Parks. And
yesterday.
Right now, as we speak, we're already increasing the capacities to our parks, given the guidance that we've gotten.
These guys, I love Disney. The fact that they're getting whacked here on Disney Plus numbers is sad. It's honestly such a wonderful company. But anyway, so look at the momentum movers here. Gevo. Gevo reported, but I don't think the Gevo numbers were anything special here. Yeah, look at this. Gevo reports Q1 loss. Misses revenue estimates. What does the stock do? Up 20%. I told you, this market is stupid. It's so dumb. And then you get Apple and Amazon beating numbers, Etsy, Pinterest, everything through the roof to the moon, crash. Oh man, it is a disaster. I'll tell you that. So Gevo up 20.3% here. Marathon and Riot, really nice recoveries here. And certainly if you zoom out over here, Gevo and Marathon, these guys, they're sitting at January lows. It wasn't that long ago. But they're sitting at lows. Basically the whole Bitcoin and crypto rally has been eradicated from from Marathon and Riot here, but they're slowly coming back. BNGO coming back. A lot of the momentum players right here that have been selling off. Even Archimoto, folks, didn't this run to like $27? No, it ran to $36. Oh my gosh, it's at $8. What is the market cap of Archimoto right now? That's what I want to know. Let's see. Archimoto's. The easiest way to find it quickly is you just type it into Google. Market cap. Oh my gosh, Archimoto's only $291 million right now. It's a drop of the bucket. I'm tempted to look at some of these companies, these smaller companies that have sold off big, and maybe grab some options, some cheap options on some of these small ones. We'll see. I'll write that down though, because some of these have just sold off so incredibly. I mean, really, look at the day charts here. I mean, Archimoto, toilet, even Nano Dimension, toilet. And these are some that run vigorously with momentum moves. EXPI sold off incredibly. It's up 7% today. Microvision, hey, Microvision's at 1337. Sold off incredibly here. Ethereum now back to 40.57 here. Carnival's up. Neo's up. Neo, folks, Neo was like 31 yesterday. Oh my gosh. And even at 33, it's a bargain today. I think I'm going to do some more shopping today. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because some of these prices are still so low. In the last 2 days, I've been shopping. Square's still sitting close to that 200 level. Preferred under 200, but at 205, still a bargain. Canoe 743. Even though they totally failed on their last earning, if you want to see failure, if you've never read an earnings transcript before, please look up the earnings transcript for Canoe. And then before you start reading it, right at the top, failure, and then read it, and then you'll see why it was a failure. It was so bad. But it's actually it's one that should be in textbooks of this is what a bad earnings call looks like. It's kind of sad. Because I think their ideas are great, but then again, prototypes and ideas, as Elon Musk says, are nothing compared to actual production. And I did have an interview with the Archimoto CEO again, and that's exactly what he reiterated as well. Is production is very, very difficult. A good runs though here. I mean, Enphase trying to rebound here. It makes you wonder: is it the bull trap again, right? Or is it an opportunity to buy? Probably won't buy super heavy, but I'll do some nibbling again today. Maybe add 1-2% to the portfolio, something to that effect. Tesla going back to the upside here. It was down to only being positive about 0.5%, and we're on the day chart here running up again. Sorry, this isn't Tesla here. That's Target. There we go. Yeah. A little bit of bouncing around here. Let's see what other coverage we have here. Seems like it's been a little boring. The more commercials you have on CNBC and Fox, the more it's kind of a boring day. Literally both of them on commercial again. Let's see if Bloomberg's up. Bloomberg. Okay, Bloomberg's talking. Let's try Bloomberg.
Natural occurrence, part of the post-COVID recovery. But this...
Uh-oh. Don't know what happened. Darn it. There we go.
Shortages, you have supply chain interruptions, you have a number of different things that are affecting it. So, probably the most important data point to watch for sure.
Katerina, the narrative I hear time and time again, and it seems to have been a narrative this week, is if you want to go to the value trade, you go to Europe. Is that correct?
Well, partially. I mean, absolutely. Are there value trades in Europe? Definitely. But we still think that there are amazing value opportunities and quality opportunities here in the US. Whether you look at Europe or US, the key to kind of de-risking the portfolios here are individual stock selection and diversification. So investors who haven't taken some risk off the table yet, definitely something they should be considering.
Bank of America every Friday has their inflow.
Sounds like a short seller. Oh, if you haven't taken risk off the table, definitely something you should be considering. Really? Are you telling people to sell like the higher risk stocks at the bottom? not trying to call the bottom, but this is some pretty low prices. Sounds like a short seller to me. Sounds like a short seller who got in late. Please keep falling.
Financials in commodities, because the story there is far more reaching than just the story of the post-COVID recovery. We also love defensive plays here. We love healthcare. There are a whole bunch of opportunities in this market, but again, it's all about quality. It's all about rotation to quality at the moment.
Katerina, how carefully do I need to segment the tech trade? There are those tech companies, and we've seen plenty of IPOs, we've seen SPACs, we've seen all kinds of sort of aspects to this that are relying on their valuations with these low interest rates for kind of the future trajectory. And then you look at the kind of the big tech name.
Thomas, yes, that is a great idea.
Amazon just raised a huge amount of money in the bond market because it can. We're likely to see that flowing back in the form of buybacks. We're going to see dividends from these kinds of companies. How careful do I need to be to not throw out the good companies with the bad in my tech portfolio?
Guy, to your point, technology is here to stay. We can't just lump all tech together and say all tech is bad because it had this big run up. Our lives got changed. The way we do our daily activities, the way we conduct our business, the way our kids go to school, are done through technology. And these technological solutions are going to stay. So we have to just separate good tech companies that have long-term opportunity and that are not going anywhere and are going to continue to be profitable from tech companies that kind of rode that wave and just achieve the valuations that are not necessarily supported by earnings. So we'll have to be very selective in our tech trade, but tech is here to stay.
All right, Katerina, thanks a lot. Katerina Simonetti of Morgan Stanley Private Wealth Management. Thank you very much. Just some quick breaking news for you. The Coast Guard says they're reopening the Mississippi River to barge traffic. Guy, this is huge.
Let's go ahead and pull back here. And all right, let's go ahead and see if CNBC's got anything for us. Nope, they're on commercial. Okay, let's go back here. Let's see some of the madness that's going on here. All right, so not a lot of red. Not a lot of red at all today. Much more green. Almost the entire market is green today. Let's see what we have here. Hut 8 mining's actually increasing here. Yeah, increasing throughout the day here. Voyager Digital not getting quite back to that $20 where it often bumps up to. Upstart, there we go. This was 89 this morning. Yeah, 86 this morning. Remember how I mentioned this is often a trader stock that bounces back to like that 100, 110 range over there? I wouldn't be surprised if we head back there, especially on momentum moves. And we're really seeing momentum moves turn around right now. It makes you wonder, like, oh, we're going to start seeing momentum runs again. Look, Gevo, remember this thing ran up to, what was it, like $15 or something like that? Yeah, Gevo ran up to $15.57. Sure, it's up 21% today, but it's still only at $5.80. Not to say it's going to go as high as we had seen with some of these momentum plays. I'll tell you, Archimoto at $8. I mean, it's a bargain from what it was. We've got Dogecoin at 54 right now, EXPI at 25, big old bargain here. We got Ethereum at 4,000 here, 4,040. Unity, Nordstrom, Mind Medicine, all these guys up a nice 5% today. Really good recovery day here. Palantir's up. Still very low, though. Palantir, 1922. Zillow's down at 112. Let's see how much Zillow's really sold off here. Zillow's down from really a December peak. Sorry, that's not Zillow. Where'd Zillow go? Where are we? Zillow. No, not Zoom. Did you all hear Kevin O'Leary yesterday pitch Zoom? That was interesting too. Big Zoom pitch. All right, here we go. 208 for Zillow, down to 103. That's half. That's incredible. I mean, these are some big old cuts to the market that we've seen. And it's been just sort of like a slow bleed the last 2.5 months. But boy, oh boy, you look at some of the numbers now and you compare the charts over the last few months, and it's like, you know, it wasn't all in one day, the crash. It was a nice crash spread out over 2.5 months. And I mean, just do this. You want to look around at some of your faves. Look at that. Look at Lemonade. Well, a lot of this was a Motley Fool pump, though, so you have to kind of keep that in mind with Lemonade. But even DoorDash here. DoorDash, like, there's that green candle that we're seeing now compared to what we've had. And compared to where things have been, this is like the kind of market where you look at it, it's like, wow, you kind of want money around right now to jump in on some of these things. Some of the recovery obviously having done very well and consistently doing well, the Macy's, the Nordstrom, and that. I personally am not so jumping up and down about adding to some of the recoveries. I much prefer the ones that have sold off. And, you know, classic buy the dip style moves. Invite, look at that, straight down from where we have been. And these are almost times where you consider like the ARK funds, right? Let's look at RK. RK, nice sell off here. Like, that's when you want to be buying. It's when people draw the charts, you know, and they're like, man, I'm gonna buy here, I'm gonna sell here. Like, that's, you know, who knows how much it keeps going down, right? But it's like, these are the moments you look and it's like, oh, it's kind of where we should be. Let's give CNBC a listen here for a moment.
For sale in Manhattan, with the vacancy rate about 3 times the historical average. The luxury segment doing the best with the largest number of contracts over 5 million in over a decade. So, David, finally, we have a new wave of New Yorkers who can afford to live here. Now all we need is for someone to pick up the trash and we'll start to have a city again.
You are just so on my issues. Yeah. Of course, important mayoral election coming up as well. And most of them are not going to have to pay the higher taxes, I guess. You know, Robert, what does it say overall about the economy for the city at this point, or what the expectation?
ARK K today has 59 gainers and 4 losers. It just shows you the entire market is basically up, especially the things that have sold off. Still big deals to be had, though. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and give Barnes a shot. All right, what do we got over here?
Mr. Secretary, thank you very much indeed for appearing with us today. You're
Thank
always
you,
welcome.
Have a good day,
Always
sir.
appreciated. Yes, sir. Thanks very much.
Thank
indeed.
you, sir.
Next case. Remember when the CIA released its woke recruitment ad?
Oh, man. Right back to politics. All right, we'll try Bloomberg. What's Bloomberg got for us?
Under some pressure this week, and ETFs seem to be the way investors are playing that. For more, I want to bring in Bloomberg's
Tech
Kriti
dip.
Gupta. Kriti, what are we noticing in terms of flows?
Well, Alex, you do see a lot of kind of on a weekly basis, you are seeing the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 set for weekly losses. That's a completely different story when you're looking at the ETFs that track them, though. Take a look at QQQ, which is really leading the charge here. That's the ETF that tracks the NASDAQ 100 on a weekly basis. $2.2 billion entering that, and even some of the other ETFs that track the S&P 500, VOO, SPY, getting some pretty substantial funds in there. And of course, that's as we see the S&P 500 for some investors used as a proxy for that tech exposure. And I really want to zoom into that QQQ story. If you look inside my terminal, really just looking at how much of the buy the dip mentality is there. You can see all the way on the right side of your screen, QQQ is above that red line, which really shows profit or losses, and by a pretty substantial margin. But what's not doing so well? And that's going to be your energy shares. Energy actually doing fairly well today, still negative on the week. And it looks like that is being reflected in the weekly ETF outflows. Names like HYG, JNK, which are, of course, the high yielding ETFs, but are very exposed to what happens in the energy space. And then, of course, you have XLE as well, Alex and Guy.
Thank you very much indeed. Kriti Gupta. Greatly appreciated. It's interesting to see what's happening with the flows. It does seem to still be, Alex, there's still this narrative that the market just wants to carry on with the rotation and wants to go higher. I think the latter bit is going to be where the struggle is right now. We've kind of peaked out at the moment. Mm-hmm. There's a whole load of assets out there that are kind of just cruising sideways at the moment. What gets the overall market to go up?
Was your cruising sideways a segue to your T's? Because that would have been cool.
That was kind of where we're going.
Yeah. No, that's
river's
impressive.
Open.
Cruising.
The river is open. The bridge, the Coast Guard is allowing traffic on the Mississippi River again.
All right. Yeah. Hey, folks, seriously, I'm looking at this market. I'm going to make a list right now And we've been doing this with course members here regularly over the last few weeks, just trying to identify the ones that are the most beaten down right now. And I just love buying this weakness, and I know it's crazy, but that's, I think, when the big money is made. Let's go listen to crypto here for a moment on CBC
or FTX or any of these decentralized or centralized exchanges. How large are they going to be? How proliferated are they going to be in our everyday lives? And where should you be putting your capital? In some senses, I would say you should be putting in your capital or investing in some of these protocols across the board, anything that has traction. And so we think about gross demand. We have more data than anyone else in the world for private and public companies. And so when you think about an open world, open protocol, programmable and upgradable, where would you put your capital? It's going to be anything that's gross demand, that's towards the future, payments, rails, settlements, et cetera.
Hey, Arjun, we keep our eyes peeled for any news about a big bank establishing a new trading desk, creating new instruments, ETFs. How critical is that, do you think?
By the way, AMC is starting a little bit of a run here, up 8% right now, and some solid volume coming in.
Yeah, I think the way to think about it is you have everyday people, bottoms up retail, and then you have institutions that are starting to adopt this. And so when you have flows of capital all over the world starting to adopt different alternative coins, Bitcoin, and the liquidity that comes through that system, tokenization of securities and assets, who are all the people that are going to play with it? And so I think you're going to look at every major bank, and you're going to look at every major company, and you're going to look at every major technology company that's thinking about revolutionizing or staying current with their customer base. They're all going to use it. So I wouldn't name any names, but I think you look at every Fortune 500 company, they're all thinking, what do I think about blockchain? What do I think about crypto?
Yeah, I'm curious what you think about Dogecoin right now. I mean, certainly we're talking about a coin that was started essentially as a joke. I wonder who you think has the last laugh, especially given the fact that we've seen the tweets from Elon Musk again in the last 24 hours, Coinbase looking to launch a trading service around that coin as well.
Yeah, if what's really great about what Elon has done to the overall community is just bring it overall attention. And so it's kind of a call to arms to think about, hey, Dogecoin or Bitcoin, it may or may not be green. There's uses a lot of energy. But the great thing about crypto, the great thing about blockchain is that it's programmable and it's upgradable. And so the sheer fact that you have that ability to make changes over time is, I think, what he's calling other folks in the industry, open source community developers and technologists, to start figuring out how to fix. The early stages of the internet, the early stages of social networking, you can make an argument that.
All right, I'm gonna pull off this. All right, folks. So let's take a peek here at some of these items here. Well, look at or some of the things running all of a sudden. So not only is AMC running, but Tesla's starting to run a little bit. It's up 2.5% right now. Really, everything is just starting to move to the upside right now. Who knows? I mean, even Churchill Capital rotating up 4% here. Who knows? There's always that concern that, it's just a bull trap. It's bouncing and then it's gonna fall right back to new lows or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna sit down for a little bit, do a little bit of research on some of my favorites. I might do some shopping today. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty tempted to do some shopping on ones that have fallen substantially. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I put something together. Thanks so much for being here. Be part of the course member live stream. Check out that coupon code down below. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.